Hey guys, Fuzz here. Today I'll be telling you a story about a condescending DM and the repercussions that followed. Enjoy. Times you broke your GM. I joined a game of D&D because, why the flip not? DM seems cool, players are varying levels of autist but otherwise aren't horrible people. First session rolls around. Encounter Goblins as our first encounter. My barbarian runs up to cleave them in half. Get told to roll for a fortitude save. Why? Just do it. Okay. Roll a 13 on fort. You inhale a dust that smells like rotten tomatoes. Okay. Never heard of this effect, but whatever. Eventually kill the goblins. Then the DM rolls some dice behind the screen and chuckles. A goblin bursts from your chest. Wait, what? You breathed in the spores of a goblinoid, which erupts from their body whenever they take damage and has a chance to form a new goblinoid to erupt from the victim's chest. Wait, what the flip? Why didn't you tell us this? Well, you didn't roll nature. Wouldn't my character have known not to get close to these things? Your character's not smart enough to know what a goblin is. Pissed off, I begin rolling up a new character. As you can see, this story has already piqued the interest of some people on the boards. This time I roll up a ranger with above average intelligence. I also choose goblins as my favourite enemy. For reference for everyone listening, when you're a ranger you can choose a favoured enemy and it gives you attack and damage bonuses, and it's implied pretty heavily in the fluff that it's because you've been hunting and dealing with these foes for quite some time. You're something of a veteran of combat with these foes, so it might be something for a dwarf to take, a dwarf ranger who's been battling orcs or goblinoids in the underground tunnels for a long time. You're basically a professional. Oh, back to the story. The DM looks annoyed for a moment, but lets it slide. I think nothing of it. I get ready to be integrated into the party properly, and things go without a hitch. Nobody tries attacking me, stealing anything I own or whatever. I get welcomed with open arms. We go into town a bit to resupply before heading out towards the next point of interest, and along the way we encounter some more goblins. Oh boy, here we go. My turn comes up. I make my attack roll. Your bonuses don't apply here. What? Excuse me, you clearly said these are goblins. Your character doesn't know that. Besides, these aren't actually goblins. What? Yeah, people call them goblins, but they aren't actually goblins. They're a variant of the orc subtype. And you're telling me that my ranger, who lives in the woods and fights goblinoids, wouldn't know the difference? Of course. He isn't smart enough. Again, guys, this is someone who's a professional goblinoid hunter. Note I said goblinoid. You choose a type of enemy. The entire array of goblins is what is professional at hunting. Now I'm pissed, but I hold my tongue, do my attack roll anyways, and we kill the party that's intercepted us. If the other players are mad, they aren't showing it, but most are avoiding eye contact or fidgeting in their seats. The campaign's now hitting critical overdrive. So I decide, screw it. I'm going to start having fun with the DM. After a couple of more encounters with goblins, one of our melee guys got killed from breathing in the goblin dust. Can you imagine fighting something that's a swarm of creatures you're meant to take on en masse, and whenever you hit them, it's a save or die? What is this DM doing? Later we make it to town, and we're beckoned by a young woman. An elf, of course. Am I smart enough to know what an elf is? What? I'm asking. Am I smart enough to know what an elf is? Everyone's looking at me funny, but I don't care. I've long since stopped giving a crap. Yes, you know what an elf is. Cool. The elf beckons us towards the tavern. Am I smart enough to know what a tavern is? The DM tells me yes. I say, cool, in response. So you guys walk through the door. Am I smart enough to know what a door is? I can see the faintest outline of a vein in the DM's forehead as he curtly replies, "You know what a door is." Cool. Anyway, you're all led to a table. Do we know what a table is? One of the other party members asks. Yes, you know what a table is, and you sit down. What's sitting? Another party member asks. You know how to sit. And when you sit down, she asks you, what's a question? Another party member asks. Oh boy. The DM is noticeably pissed, but the mood has become much lighter than it was earlier. Every word the DM says is interrupted with questions on whether or not we know what it is. Eventually, the DM gets up from the table, packs away his notes, and leaves. Meanwhile, we're all laughing like idiots. The DM eventually told us over Facebook that he was cancelling the game for the foreseeable future, and then deleted us from his friends list once someone asked him, what's a Facebook? I'm sorry, I had a couple of giggles there reading this one. It's a bit silly, but honestly, I think that's a pretty happy ending. You probably don't want to keep playing with someone who's willing to insta-kill you at level 1, or completely negate your class features. I mean, I'm all for coming to a reasonable agreement about mechanics or differences and things like that, or sort of lubricating the social interaction between people in a party, or with a DM. Especially with a DM. I mean, the DM's there to have fun too, after all. But this is a bit extreme, don't you guys think? Like, as I said before, this is a type of foe you're meant to encounter en masse, and making it so whenever you hit them, you have a risk of just instantly being killed is... It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. And trying to say that a ranger doesn't understand what a goblinoid is when it's his favorite enemy is like saying that an archer is going, hey, look, I know that you know how to use a bow, but I know it's your whole training. You went to a fighter academy. This is what you did, you know. I know that you have feats like point blank shot and everything, but look, but do you really know the bow? I mean, I know you see him using a bow like that enemy over there, but I mean, do you know? That's not really a bow, you see. I know you're a professional, you're like a scholar in the longbow, but that's a Yumi, okay? That's a Yumi. See, it's a longbow made of a different type of tree. You just can't understand it. It's just beyond your level of understanding, okay? Anyway, I've rambled enough. If you guys enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like. If you like the content, a subscription really helps out. Hit that subscribe button. And you can find us in the description at various places like Discord or Patreon. As always, have a good one. Every word the DM asks is getting interrupted with questions on whether or not we know what we... This story's so dumb.